Why do women start to dislike their husbands as they get older? The reason is very practical. They used to laugh together. He'd make silly jokes over burnt toast. She'd roll her eyes but smile anyway. Now the kitchen is silent. Breakfasts are eaten in parallel, not shared. The space between them, once filled with warmth, is now cold air and quiet sighs. What changed? Why do so many women after years, sometimes decades, of marriage begin to quietly resent their husbands? Is it betrayal? Boredom? Burnout? The reason is far more practical, and it's something no one warns you about when you say, "I do." Stick around, because what you'll hear today might just change how you see your relationships forever. Let's get one thing straight. Most women don't wake up one day and say, "I don't love him anymore." It's slower than that. Like a small leak in the roof that only shows after years of rain. When we're young, love is loud. It's late-night talks, spontaneous trips, passionate arguments followed by passionate makeups. But life isn't a rom-com. Bills stack up. Kids need attention. Careers demand energy. And slowly, the marriage shifts from connection to coordination. She becomes the manager of the household. The invisible labor. The planning, the emotional caretaking, the remembering of birthdays and doctor's appointments, falls on her shoulders. He works hard too, but his focus is often narrower. Provide, protect, solve. At first she understands, then she tolerates, and eventually she wonders, does he even see me anymore? And that's where the quiet dislike begins to bloom. As women grow older, their emotional needs become more refined. They begin to value peace over chaos, depth over drama, presence over presents. But many men by this point in life have emotionally plateaued. Not because they're bad, but because no one ever told them emotional growth was their responsibility too. A woman in her 40s or 50s often begins to wake up to herself. The kids are grown. Her body has changed. Her sense of self is sharper. She starts asking, "What do I want? What do I need?" If her partner hasn't been on that same journey, the gap between them widens. What she craves now, emotional intimacy, curiosity, vulnerability, may be things he never learned how to give. And in that void, resentment grows. Not because he changed, but because he didn't. Here's the truth. The reason many women grow to dislike their husbands isn't mystery or magic. It's logistics. When a woman sees her husband retire into the recliner while she's still doing dishes, she doesn't see rest, she sees imbalance. When she hears him tune out during conversations, she doesn't hear peace, she hears neglect. When the emotional labor never gets shared, when she's still the only one holding the mental checklist of the household, she feels more like a caretaker than a partner. And that's the practical reason. The burden is not shared. As life slows down, women don't want luxury, they want relief. They want to be seen, supported, and understood. But instead they often feel invisible. Here's where it gets real. Many women don't leave. They stay physically. But emotionally, they check out. They build quiet lives around their own peace. They find fulfillment in friends, hobbies, books, or even just long walks alone. Some even start planning a second chapter, with or without their partner. And the saddest part? The husband often has no idea. Because he thought everything was fine. They weren't fighting. Bills were paid. Life was stable. But what he didn't realize is that stable isn't the same as connected. He missed the shift. The longing. The 1,000 quiet signals she sent before she finally gave up trying to be heard. If you're still here, you need to hear what comes next. Psychologists call this emotional drift. It happens when one person evolves and the other doesn't. Men are often taught that their worth comes from external success. The job, the paycheck, the house. Women, on the other hand, often define worth by emotional connection, being understood, valued, and felt. So as time passes, she invests inward. He often stays outward. And the emotional bank account goes dry. But it's not too late. Awareness is the first step. Because here's the twist no one tells you. Women don't want perfect husbands. They want present ones. They want to feel like their lives are shared, not just managed. They want to be asked how they feel. And they want you to listen, not solve. They want a partner, not a project. And if you're willing to grow with her, instead of just growing old beside her, the love can be reborn. So if you've ever felt that distance, if you're a man wondering what changed or a woman wondering if you're alone, this is your moment. Don't scroll past this. Comment. Here. Start the conversation. Because silence is what got us here. And only truth will pull us out. Speech balloon, tell me, what's the one thing you wish your partner understood about you that they just don't? Backhand index pointing down, drop it in the comments. Let them see. Let others see. Let the truth breathe. Because this, right here, might be the start of healing for someone else. If this made you pause, if it made you feel something, don't just keep scrolling. Backhand index pointing right, hit like if you've ever felt unseen in a relationship. Brain, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Your spouse, your friends, even your younger self. And remember this. Love doesn't die from conflict. It dies from neglect. So say something. Do something. Be there. Before the silence becomes permanent.